Hello and welcome to an episode of Whiskey Theory. No actual scientific theory is going to be discussed in this episode. However, I am going to be partaking of Bushmills Irish whiskey, which is my go-to. I highly recommend it. It's much better than Jameson. Um, what I will be discussing is just topics of importance to society today. And in fact, today I'm going to be talking about the Second Amendment. And one thing I do want to say as a responsible gun owner is do not mix firearms and alcohol. Um, it's not a good idea. Don't do it. Um, that said, the Second Amendment it's not there to protect my ability to go hunting. It's there to protect our ability to defend ourselves and our country, our family, our property, and so on. It's there to protect the rest of our freedoms. It's there to protect the rest of the Bill of Rights. It is the teeth to the Bill of Rights. And without teeth, there's nothing preventing the Bill of Rights from being diminished somehow through legislation or even forceful revocation of some of our rights. Um, there's example of modern laws that without teeth, they're just not effective, and that's why our Bill of Rights has stood the way it has for as long as it has because of the Second Amendment. Um, some people argue that the Second Amendment is out of date and out of touch with technology. I disagree with that. I don't believe that the Second Amendment was written around technology. It was written there to preserve our way of life, regardless of the technology used. Um, Without the Second Amendment, we're helpless. We find ourselves dependent on the state. And by the state, I mean our local, county, state, federal government. And that's not sufficient. Um, if you have a home invasion and you call 911 to defend yourself, um, you may be able to do that within seconds because with modern technology, cell phones, you can voice command dialing an emergency number. Problem is, they're minutes away and you have seconds to respond. And it's a physical response that you have to do. Fight or flight, right? Same thing with if you're walking down the street and you're mugged. You find yourself in a similar situation. Um, you may not even have time to call the police until after you've been mugged. Your girlfriend is carried away, and hopefully you're not bleeding out on the sidewalk. The Second Amendment guarantees immediacy of a response for personal protection of you and your family. People, lawbreakers, robbers, muggers, they don't care about the law. The law may say, hey, you can't have this high capacity pistol, but guess what? They possess one anyway. But because you're a law abiding citizen, you do not. Therefore, they have the leg up on you. And even if it is a fair fight, as a Marine veteran, I was always taught that a fair fight is the one that you lose. You want the upper hand. That said, the argument is short-sighted and ignorant. It really is. As a gun owner and a Second Amendment supporter myself, I don't fear the world around me. In fact, it's quite opposite. I feel prepared for the world. There are certain places around town you wouldn't go at certain times. And same thing. There's certain places you wouldn't carry a gun. You just no need to. And I'm going to speak real quickly to the jackasses that carry the AR-15s in the Starbucks. You guys are dumb. You're idiots. You really are. Yeah, I get it. The right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Great, but you're still dumb. Firearms are tools. And just like any other tool, you wouldn't use a hammer to turn a 10 millimeter bolt. You'd use a ratchet or a wrench. It's the same thing with the firearm. You don't carry around an AR-15. You look stupid. I take a very liberal view with gun laws, and that's a funny term to use in relationship to it, but it really is true. I feel that everyone should be able to own a gun and protect themselves, and I mean everyone. We shouldn't be taking this right from anybody. I don't care what your status is. Um, in my mind, it's a human right. It's a fundamental right to be able to protect yourself. Um, that said, I do support any kind of legislation that enables firearm ownership, smart firearm ownership, and to me, what that means is education. Let's get firearm safety into schools. We teach them driver's ed. We teach them safe sex. Why can't we teach them firearm safety? Learn it, how to maintain it, how to be safe around it, how to respect it. Um, to me, that's common sense. That's common sense legislation. You know, um, it takes away the fear and the misunderstanding of firearms, and what it gives you is an educated public that is equipped with the skills, knowledge, and ability to defend themselves, their families, and their country. The Second Amendment protects our way of life, and without it, we simply would not be, and we would not continue to be. Let's continue to protect our way of life. Let's protect the Second Amendment. Let's protect our Bill of Rights. Thank you.